All right, so examine the data in the files 20.ame.20.intern. Analyze the contents of these files. Each contains details of processes made by the manufacturer. Combine these files into a spreadsheet that is suitable for importing into a database as a database table. Okay, so it was just 20 AME and intern. Let's get rid of my year 8 work. Okay, so I mean, whoever would put a table like this in Word instead of Excel is quite clearly a bit odd. But this is the life we've been given. Thank you, Cambridge. All right, so now we've got the models. They're not in the exact same order, so it's just making sure you're paying attention, really. I guess they're both for processors, is that right? Yeah, speed, socket, cores. Okay, so they've got all the same headings. Brilliant, so we can copy it quite easily. I'm going to go half and half. Beautiful. Model, in fact, I don't need the top one, so I'm just going to copy that. Look at that, wow. I'm good at this. Price. Socket. Is that the middle one? Yeah. Guys, if you finish this and you want to crack on with something else, be my guest. Crack on. It's up to you. Threads, copy. Wow. That was great, right? I'm also going to remove the 2 blank ones at the top. I don't think that would give you any errors if you didn't, but... And then I'm just going to save it as my own worksheet. And I'm going to save it as an Excel. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's all we had to do for that. Is that right? Yeah. Cool, okay. Each computer processor is 6 marks. That was maybe a minute and a half, right? Each computer processor fits in a special socket on the motherboard. Different motherboards have different processor sockets. Some sockets fit processors for more than one manufacturer. A processor can be fitted to many different types of motherboard. Some motherboards can be fitted with different types of processor. So this is telling us, this is basically, this bit here is saying many to many, right? So this is your clue that there's probably going to be a table in the middle, because we can't have many to many relationships in Access. You can't do it. It has to be one to many and then one to many again, or many to one, right? You can't have many processors to many motherboards, because you end up repeating yourself again and again, and it's utter mental chaos. So the motherboards used by this company are held in the file 20-motherboard KSV. Okay, look at that, very similar table. We can see the sockets, and we've got all those funky numbers that we had before. Yeah, you can see how they match up, some of them don't, blah, blah, blah. Analyze the contents of this file and the one saved in step 1. You will plan and create a relational database to store the data for the processors and motherboards. Create a data dictionary in your evidence document. Include details of the tables, records, fields, data types, and any other relevant information. Data dictionaries are long. Should we just skip the... No? You want me to go through it? Okay. I love you, Patrick. Thank you. Right, so data dictionaries are going to be made up of, we've got our field names, we've got, or our attribute, we've got our data types, we've got whether they are format, whether they're a key, and then other data. So let's do it like that. I'm just going to put a load in. I know they're quite easy to delete and add to. So there's just there's 2 tables now. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is going to have to be in its own one, because that is a many to many, because we can have many motherboards that have got AM4, and there's many processors that fit motherboards with AM4. So it would be a bit difficult for us, well, it wouldn't be possible for us to include all of them. So let's go field name, data type, format, and then other. And do we have keys? Is the model repeated? So a really quick way for us to find out whether something's repeated, just make this full screen. If you go conditional formatting and you go new rule, you can find unique or duplicate values. And you just change the color of it so it stands out, basically. And you'll see very quickly whether there are any. As you can see, there's a lot of motherboards. Do you know someone's probably gone through and made sure that these are actually correct? What a life. Yeah, so I didn't see any repeating, there was no bright orange that stood out to me. I'm just going to do the same with this, although it looks like there might be repeating ones here. That is also, yeah, so I could go data, remove duplicates. Yeah. So I guess we could use model. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we end up adding our own ID, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, create a data dictionary, include the details of tables, records, fields, data types, and any other relevant information. So what I haven't done is I haven't said the table name, so let's do motherboard first. Field name is going to be whatever is in here. Let's put that to the one side, this to the other side. I'm feeling super lazy, so I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to transpose it, paste. Oh. Yes. What? You can go when you go file publish, you can change it. Yeah. Okay, not quite what I wanted, but this will do. Yeah. But it's super easy, so I haven't really gone through video that much. Okay. Why haven't I got random lines? Okay. Data type, short text. I'm going to copy that. That one's short text. Chipset, short text. Now, because this one's got some characters in it that are not numbers, that also becomes short text. Why not what? Okay. Alright, fine. Alphanumeric. If you wrote short text, you still get the mark. It means the same thing, yeah. Yep. Fine, alphanumeric. Slots. I guess that's a number, but it's saved in this as text. So I'm going to go for alphanumeric. You could do integer, yeah. I think either would be fine. But the only reason I said alphanumeric is because if it's a number, it goes to the left. Oh, no, it doesn't. Alright, I'm mistaken, sorry. And then finally price, which is currency. Format, type bar, 2 decimal place. You can write currency. I'm just going one step further for the hell of it. So we said that the model was going to be the primary key, right? Okay. What else did it say on the question paper? It said tables, records, fields, data types. Okay. Cool. Format. So smaller than 5 or smaller than or equal to 4 digits. Don't have to do this bit. This is me going a little bit further. The memory again is smaller or equal to 4 digits. I'm just making sure I'm covering all bases when I do this kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to move on. So that's motherboard. I'm then going to be very, very lazy and copy this and paste it and call this one processor. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that it's slightly different but pretty similar. Manufacturer model, speed in gigahertz. Speed in. So I'm going to use camel type, alright? Camel type, camel. Real means that it's a decimal place. You could also write float here. So when you've got a decimal like that, it's going to be, you want to put it as a real. That's the data type. You could write decimal. I've wrote. Yeah, I suppose that would work. We've got then socket. Then instead of memory, we've got cores. And then we've got threads. And finally price. So socket, has to be the same type as this. So alphanumeric, because they're going to be linked up. Okay? And then cores, I'm going to use an integer for that, alright? Integer, and then, pardon? Threads too. Yeah. Now, because you know in the question paper it said, okay, it is recording, I was just making sure. Is it? Brilliant. Now it's got me checking that it's recording. Lovely. So because it said here, a processor can be fitted to many different types of motherboards. Some motherboards can be fitted with different types of processor. Because it says that, I know that we've got a many-to-many relationship. So I have to make another table to link these tables up. And the only thing really that links them is socket. So at the bottom here, I'm going to go for socket, which for some reason I've centered. And inside this table, we're going to have the same amount of columns, which I think was 5. And then we're going to have field name, blah, blah, blah. And we're just going to have socket. Really, really simple. In fact, I can copy this. Oh, balls. Alphanumeric format. They varied, but I'm just going to leave it as that. This is going to be the primary key, and this is going to be our relationship with 2 tables. Huh? To link the 2, because at the moment we can have motherboards have got a socket that can fit many processors, and processors have got socket that can fit on many motherboards. So we've got a many-to-many relationship, so we can't link them all perfectly. If we put it in another table, we can just link, well, processor links to this socket, motherboard links to this socket, and then it will display all of the processors that use that socket and all of the motherboards that use that socket. Whenever you have a many-to-many relationship, you need to have a separate table. Okay? Really important rule. What you want to do when you create the other table is to get a one-to-many relationship instead of many-to-many. So now, a processor has one type of socket. right? But a socket can have many different types of processors. So we've created a many-to-one or a one-to-many relationship. Same with motherboard. A motherboard only has one socket, and that socket can have many different motherboards. So instead of it being many-to-many, because before it was many motherboards could have many different processors, many processors could have many different motherboards, because depending on the socket, now we've got a one-to-many and a one-to-many. Okay, so we can use that. Okay, so that's our data dictionary done, which I'll save and upload as well for you guys. Okay, right, using your data dictionary and the files saved in task 1 and 2, create a database named Tawara, followed by your center number, candidate number. The only thing we have to do, other than what we've already got, is make a separate table with socket. Okay? It doesn't matter what table I take the sockets from, because I'm going to end up removing the duplicates anyway. So I'm just going to go File, New, and I'm going to paste this. And then I'm just going to go Data, Remove Duplicates. Okay, so we've got 22 unique values. I'm then just going to make sure we've got all the values by going to processor, or still called intem, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to go remove duplicates, and there should be the same amount. Okay, so we've got more. What? Okay, so don't expand the selection. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that these all match up. Okay, so 1440 wasn't inside this one. So now I need to add that one to this list. 2011, yeah, 1150, 1155, AM4, cool. So now I've got every single type of socket. I'm now going to save this. There's no calculations in it, so I'm just going to save it as a CSV, because it uploads better. Call it socket. Then I'm going to go back to this one, I'm going to recall it, save it again, and call it processor as a CSV. Cool. Now I can open up Access, and we can start with our database lessons, 30 minutes into this lesson. Thanks, Patrick. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go to Home. No, we're not. We're going to go to External Data, Text File, because it's CSV. I'm going to go to Browse, and I am going to 2020 March. No, I'm not. I lied. I'm going to March 20, and let's do Motherboard first of all. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Text file, browse, motherboard, okay. Okay, because it's comma, obviously it's split by comma, we can see that these are all... okay. Now, being the smart, experienced IT teacher that I am, I think this might have some issues if I upload it as currency straight away. So I'm going to leave that as short text, and then I'm later on going to amend it. That's not a long integer. I think we said integer for that. Short text or alphanumeric, yeah, that's fine. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so now I go next. Choose my own primary key. I'm going to go for model. Import to table. I'm going to call it motherboard. Now you'll know if you get any errors because it will give you an error report, or your work will look utterly mental. Okay, so I have got some errors. It didn't like socket type conversion. Okay. So yeah. So I tried to do socket as a number. We're going to have to upload it as short text. So I'm going to delete this and start again. Because it's had import errors, which means I haven't got all the data. I hate Access. There's so many errors. Have to click yes and no to every single error. Leave me alone. Oh, what have I just done? This is a nightmare. Okay. Oh, I didn't check that properly. Obviously that was going to give me an error. I can see that it should be short text. My bad. I don't know how we missed that, but okay, so now I know that it's definitely imported correctly. I've got no errors and my table looks beautiful. Look at that, guys. Wow. Now I can do the next table, and I've learnt my lesson. I'm going to upload socket as short text. Remember, because we're going to be linking them, they have to be the same data type. It's really, really important if you've got relational fields that they are the same data type. So I'm just matching all of these up to what I had in my sorry? I've not done it as currency because sometimes it has errors. It doesn't have errors important if they're all filled in, but if it's blank, sometimes it will. So I'm going to change them after. Error! Error! Okay. I'm sure that'll sound great on the recording. Okay, so again, make sure, this is the most important one, short text is the same. It's the same data type. So now I'm going to go ahead and change my currencies so that they are currencies. Another thing, no, let's keep going. Okay, currency. Okay, and then socket, yeah, that's all good. Okay, so now I'm going to go to external data. In fact, I'm just going to right click and go save, save, save. Okay, lovely. Now go to database tools and I'm going to create our relationship. What is this? Where the hell has this come from? What? I've literally got no idea what this is. What? It's obviously from something I've done before. Right, so we got processor, socket, and motherboard. I'm going to link socket to that. We can enforce referential integrity. Oh, you pillar. Error! Socket to socket. Okay, so we've got a one-to-many, yeah? And a one-to-many. Yeah, so save. Okay, now we're on to the report. Create a report for a customer that requires a list of the i7 processors with a speed of at least 3.7 gigahertz and motherboards that are currently in stock that support these processors and support DDR4 memory. Okay, guys, if we're creating a report, what do we always have to do before? Query! Cool. So I'm going to close this now. I'm going to go to Create, Query, Design. I'm just going to add all of these in for a second, just so. I don't know why, but I feel like motherboards should be this side and processor this side. Okay. This report must include all of the details of the processor and the motherboards. So now I'm just going to select all of these. Oops. Can I add them in one go? Nice, didn't know I could do that. So I'm holding down Shift and then just dragging it down. Beautiful. Okay, for each combination motherboard, calculate the total price. Right, so let's just start off with this. Let's do one thing at a time. i7. I'm just going to have a quick look at i7 processors because, okay, they've all got something after it. Is there any that have got i7 after the start? No. So, we can use something that we've learnt about the last couple of days. Not snowflakes, what's the word for it? Asterisks, but what's the word for the actual tool? Wildcard. Yeah? So, under model is that? Yes, model. I can go equals, i7 asterisks. Okay? I'm just going to run this straight away just to make sure it works. And it hasn't. Fantastic. No. There we go. Okay. So I'm just making sure these are all i7. We seem to have a lot. We have many duplicates. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so let's worry about that in a little bit then. A speed of at least 3.7. That's pretty easy, that one. Huh? Ah. Bigger than, equal to, lovely. I would have missed that, to be honest. Motherboards that are currently in stock, so the stock just said bigger than, if it had a price, so I'm going to go bigger than 1 just to keep it safe. Sometimes access defaults to 0. I suppose bigger than 0 would actually work, wouldn't it? So that's fine. And support DDR4. So inside memory DDR4. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Okay. This still hasn't worked, has it? Because I've only done processors and motherboards that are currently in stock. So I need to go back and do the motherboards more than 0 as well. Because before, yeah. Okay. Report must include the okay. Do not show any duplicated records. The thing is, okay, there's going to be, okay, this is a bit confusing because there's going to have to be duplicated models to show all of these because we've got motherboards that fit these, right? Because we've got them linked. So what I think it means is not to have ASUS, ROG, RAM. This is obviously ASUS. They actually make soft. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So what they mean is make sure that this doesn't appear with this more than once, which it doesn't. Okay. Cool. So I think we'll double check when we do the report, but I think we got rid of all of the duplicate records anyway. For each of the combination of calculate the total price of two items. So now I need to do down the bottom here, total price. Doing this from memory is like that, and then we go. We've got two called price. Yeah, motherboard dot. Processor dot. Okay, what was that? Sorry, Jeremy. Around this. I think because it's got that bit. We'll do it both ways, and we'll see if it makes a difference. Error. Where is it? What an idiot. Okay, so let's just choose one at random. 300 plus 376 should be 676, yeah. Let's choose another one at random. 431, 113, 320, 430, yeah, okay. So I think that works. I'm just going to try the way that Jeremy did it. Sorry, am I saying that wrong? How should I say it? Okay. Do you want it like that? Before the colon? Okay, so it's just added it to the total, to the. Cool. Okay, next up. We've calculated that. We can tick that as done. Group this report. Okay, so now we make the report. So I'm going to save this query as DDR4 i7 query. Not that we've got any other queries, but anyways. Create report wizard. Going to select everything. Nice, well done. Include all the process. Okay, so I'm going to read the rest of the question just in case I miss anything else. Include all the processor details in each group header and the motherboard details except socket and total price in the body of the report. Okay. Embolden the total price. The report must fit on a single. Okay, so this is all formatting. Include an appropriate title. Okay. So it said sort by processor model, then by motherboard manufacturer. So let's get rid of processor socket, can go. Model, then it said manufacturer, right? Yeah. And then they don't want us to use, yeah, so I need to go back and take that out. Except socket, yeah. Okay, so now we said model and we said manufacturer. And you go next. I don't think it said a way of sorting it. No, okay. Portrait. We'll have a look at it. We're going to edit anyways. Okay, as we can see, error. It unfortunately goes off the page, so let's close that and we'll just edit it a little bit. Okay, so judging from what it says all the processor details are in the group header. So let's have a look at that. So title, this is going to be where we put our processor details. So processor manufacturer. Oh, these are so small, I can't even read them. Cores, threads, processor price. No. Because I think the question says portrait. Yeah. So let's put this up here. No, let's just put these ones up here. And then that. Okay, so then this, we're going to put down here. Then we just line them up. Okay, fair enough. So the reason that I'm moving them about is because this part here says include all the processor details in each group header. So this is the titles, and then this is going to be the information. Okay. Then it says the motherboard details except socket in the body of the report. The body, imagine like head and body, like of a human. The head is the top part, so this bit here, these two. So this is the title for the header, this is the information for the header. This is going to be the body part, the detail. So all of the information we want about the motherboard should go here, and then the title should go here. So now if I show you what it looks like, okay, we've got some of the details of the processor up the top. Then we've got I mean it's a bit screwed up right now. We've got motherboard manufacturer. Obviously the title needs to go above it. And then we've got all of the details of the motherboard. And then we've got, did I create? So they were already in here because when I went through the report wizard, I added them all in. I have noticed that I am missing something though. I've got the motherboard price, but I haven't got the combined price.
Total price.
Can you see anywhere on there where it says my price? And also, if you get that hashtag, it just means that basically the field size is too small. So the next bit is really, really fiddly, and you just spend a while basically moving stuff around, and that's what the 20 marks are basically made up from. Oh, this is long. Okay. Cool. And then this one, I'm just going to make this a bit bigger, and then I'm going to cut that and paste it here. And then I'm going to move all of these a little bit further on. This is fun to watch, isn't it? Oh, come on. Right. So now I've got the processor details. That's still not quite right. Oh, for God's sake. Right, cores, threads, processor price, motherboard price. And then this is for the next one. So we probably want a bit of a gap at the bottom, so I'm just going to add that in. Nope, done that wrong, idiot. Okay. Cool, so we've got processor, then we've got all of our manufacturer, the motherboard stuff. The only thing that I'm missing is the combined price, and I truly am not sure why that didn't come through with us. So we can go to add existing fields, and then we go total price. Where has that gone? Aha. So I'm going to add that onto the side bit here. So if you missed what I just did, let me undo it actually. If you're missing a field that you want in, you go up to design and then you go to add existing fields, and it comes up with all of the fields that you've got. So I'm missing total price, so I'm going to put that in. For some reason it's added it randomly to the bottom. We know, I think it said that it wanted it to the side. Embolden the total price. Okay, so I'm just going to put it to the right here. So I've got total price. which goes above it. I'm going to click on both of them, and then I'm just going to go to home. No, I'm not. Format, bold. And bolden just means bold up that bad boy. Okay. Oh, I bolded the... Anyway, you got the idea, right? Now I have to put in a decent title. My humor's lost on you guys today. With cool. Is that everything, I think? Wide. Single portrait page wide. Not long. Yeah, so it could be as long as you like. I made that exact mistake. Jeremy. Alright? Yeah. They're in, yeah, so they're in the header at the moment. To be honest, if I wasn't in an exam, I would spend a bit longer making sure that each time this comes up, the title came with it.
I don't really understand why you did that.
Why I did?
The
Because the question said, include all the processor details in each group header. Yeah, and these are processor details. Yes, it's organized by processor, then by motherboard manufacturer. We know that because it says group by processor model, then motherboard manufacturer. Then it says processor details in the header, motherboard details in the body. Remember the body is this bit here, bit like a human. This is our header, this is our body. Yeah? What's this MSG? Error! Oh, that's the motherboard, that's the manufacturer, right, okay. Yeah, so these are all different processors, then it's organized by manufacturer. Then there's no order to it, it's mental after that. Because they didn't say to do anything. Huh? Doesn't say to, so I would just save it. Where does it say export? Oh, sorry, I didn't read it. Yeah, export as PDF, okay. So let's save it as Mr. A20 M20. Yeah. And then I'm going to go, do you know how to save it as a PDF? No. Yeah, I think you just go to export. PDF. So external data with the arrow going away is PDF. Yeah. Publish. 22 pages, lovely. Doesn't all fit, so I've got an error. Yeah? I've made it too wide, doesn't all fit. So, I'm glad we did that. So, I'm going to move this all across. So now I'm going to make sure it's saved it as a PDF. Saved it on one sheet. Ah, life.
Wait, what you wait.
Okay, so it's not quite one page off. That's how far off I'm off one page. So, last time, here we go. Okay, so I've got it all on one page wide anyway. Lovely. Okay, so I've done it. Is that right? Guys, have you got any questions before I stop the recording?
Yes.
Yeah?
What?
Any questions?